welcome to another Pauper video. I'm Kalikaiz. Today I'm going to be playing Blue-White Familiars. That is the deck based around Sunscape Familiar, which has green spells and blue spells you cast cost 1 less to cast. Eventually, we make Ghostly Flicker cost only a single mana, which means we can use our Archaeomancer plus a island and get infinite triggers with infinite God-pharoah Faithfuls for infinite life. We also have infinite birds as an out. And we can flicker 2 archaeomancers to get back snap and return all of our opponent's creatures to the board, or on the board to their hand, and attack with everything over and over, locking them out and winning the game. I like to call this deck Turbo Defense. We have God-pharoah Faithfuls for defense, Modern Age is defense in the air, Murmuring Mystic spits out birds for defense. It's just looking to not die, and then eventually you will find the lock and you will win the game. I got some feedback that this deck seems a little bit difficult to play, that there's a lot of decisions that are confusing. So I am going to try to really fully explain what and why I'm doing things. A lot of the deck is about trying to know how your opponent is trying to kill you to figure out how to not let that happen. So in every matchup, we probably have something we know that the opponent's trying to do to go over us. In the sideboard, I have 4 Dust to Dust to really stake it to Affinity, with a Revoke Existence as well, which can work versus Journey to Nowheres or Pestilence or stuff like that. We have Last Breath for little creatures like elves or walls. We have Prohibit for creature counters, as well as like stuff like Kitty, where you have Glinthawk, Skyfisher, things like that. Negate for Counter Wars, and Hydroblast for anything red or opposing Pyroblasts. So that is the list I will... Oh, I guess the other thing is, here I've decided to play only 6 cantrips, adding back in a land. The prevailing theory is that 2 cantrips is equivalent to 1 land. So I went from 18 lands and 8 cantrips to 19 lands and 6. And then I have 4 Modern Age, 4 Deep Analysis with 3 foils. I think foil plus Deep Analysis is extremely strong, allowing us to like recoup the advantage very quickly. And I just like casting Force of Will in Pauper. I'll see you in the matches. Thanks for watching. Did you know you could get sideboard guides on patreon.com/Kalikaiz? And did I mention you can get early access to videos on the YouTube page in the membership section? And if you like these videos, make sure to like and subscribe. Round 1, we're on the play. That's where I want to be. But we have no lands. Sad mulligan. And here we can see that if this ponder had been just an island, this would have been a much better keep. So I have to put this back, and we have to realize that if I were playing 21 lands, this would have been a keep. I will mulligan. This ponder would not have been better as a Lorien because we already would have just had a mulligans anyway. We're going down. We're on 5 cards. We're looking for Island, Chancery, Snap, Drifter. So we're keeping. We'll put back the foil, the familiar. We have to keep 4 cards. So we're definitely keeping Chancery, Island, Mulldrifter. Question is, do I keep the familiar or do I keep the snap? I don't know what my opponent's doing. It feels like I want to try and get to a fast Mulldrifter, but I guess maybe the familiar is a better way to do that. They're probably going to interact with me though. I'll put back the familiar. I have the upside of potentially drawing an Ephemerate for turn 3 Snap Your Thing Drifter Ephemerate. The Chancery here is good because it gives us effectively 2 draws. Okay, our opponent's playing Campfire, so they're playing a deck that looks to take their time as much as possible. Generally, we can go over the top of them because I have so much card draw in my deck, but black card draw has been a lot better nowadays. They play a Bojuka Bog. So I can play this Glacial Floodplain and pass. Another Campfire. Luckily, Campfire doesn't really matter. I'll play the Floodplain. The one thing that does matter in this matchup is them potentially slamming a Thorn of the Black Rose. So drawing the foil would be good. We draw a familiar. I think I play Island, and I can play the Chancery. They go for a cast down. I snap the familiar. Then I just untap and slam Mulldrifter. So this is just like trading the snap for a removal spell. That's probably fine. They Fanatical Offering their Campfire. So they were just more interested in drawing cards. And they're going to gain life, which doesn't really matter, like I said. They're going to go for Tithing Blade. I'll snap my creature. Opponent does not respond with another counterspell. So the Tithing Blade resolves. Nothing dies. They play Colony Garden. Probably Campfire Gardens. Let's just... Well, I don't know what their follow-up is going to be. Unfortunately, we drew a Faithful into 2 Faithfuls. That's quite bad. We have nothing going on here, but deep analysis could potentially bail me out because deep analysis is going to draw a lot of cards. Opponent gets a tap land with a Haunted Mire. They play a Pestilence. Okay, so it's the Pestilence version of Gardens. They have no creatures right now. 1, 2, 3, 4. We're going to deep analysis. Draw 2. Land. We'll flashback to deep analysis. I will attack. Opponent's going to go to 18. So their goal is to ping me out, and because I have Faithfuls, I have a solid amount of life gain that I can do. Just don't know if I can get the board clear so that the Pestilence doesn't do anything. They play a Heaped Harvest, which gains, well, they get some land, and then they can sacrifice it to gain life. Here, they can, let's see, we'll attack with the Mole Drifter. They're likely going to wait until the end step to use the Pestilence, because then they can untap and play a creature. So I want to get in, play Archaeomancer, grab the Snap. Grabbing the Snap lets me take their creature off the table. A Fanatical Offering their Heaped Harvest instead of killing my creatures. Okay, I'll play Island. Pass the turn. My deck is pretty cold to Pestilence in game 1 because I don't have any sort of way to deal with it. I don't have a Thraben Charm and I don't have a Dawnbringer Cleric. And those were conscious choices at the time because this isn't the most highly played deck. Opponent's looking for a cat to put on the table so that their Pestilence will stay alive. They cycle a Troll of Khazad-dûm and get a Swamp. Play the Swamp. And then it's my turn. I'll cycle for an Island. Play the Island. We'll attack in. Opponent blocks with the plant. If I drew another Snap, then I could snap both my creatures and the Pestilence would go away. I think it makes sense to... I guess I could play Faithful plus the Mole Drifter. I think I'm just going to play a Mole Drifter. We're not ahead on life gain because they have the Campfire. When we find a foil, I'll just put a Faithful on the table. This might incentivize them to Pestilence board wipe my 2/2s. And then I can try and snap my Faithful back and then stop them from having the Pestilence. But it relies on them not having a cat. They play Heaped Harvest. Plays out a land. Limbus, they're looking for that cat. They go top, so they might have found it. They did not find it. Well, I will attack with my 0/1, 0/4. Then I'll snap it back to hand. So we get to kill the Pestilence. They're going to hit us with the trigger. They might as well just max out on the Pestilence right now. They have Viscer's Insight, sacrificing a Heaped Harvest. I think I should just save my foil specifically for the next Pestilence. The other thing is that their deck is very slow. They're just drawing a billion cards. I can't really beat, their card draw package. Right. We can play Faithful into... They play a Nutrient Block, Limbus. The nice thing about this Cat Gardens deck is that they're probably not playing the Initiative or Monarch. Another Limbus. They play out a Nutrient Block. Golgari Rot Farm can pick up the Bajuka Bog, which they do. They play another Nutrient Block. Okay. So I can go... I think I just... don't really want my Familiar dead. I'll put a Faithful on the table and another Faithful on the table. Now opponent has a bajillion options. They gain life. They will draw cards and gain life. Going to 6 cards in hand, they'll untap with 7. Plays a Pestilence. I'll use my counterspell. They have a third Pestilence in the deck, so they might have it. Plays out a Cauldron Familiar. That will drain me 1 life. Then they Bajuka Bog, which gets rid of my counterspell. And now I want to go like Familiar, draw a bunch of cards, try to find another counterspell. Play Sunscape. Just hard cast a Mole Drifter. Then they snuff out the Familiar, so I will bounce it with the Snap. Then they have another removal spell. So I'm just hoping that they can't find their next Pestilence or that I find something good. They Visitor's Insight instead. Now, if I draw the foil, I can hold it up. They're catting to draw cards. They sacrifice their cat, and they can sacrifice the Nutrient Block to the cat to bring the cat back to the table. Their main problem here is the clock. Okay, they find the cast down. Now I get a 2/2, and I find another Snap, so I guess we can try the Faithful. Probably not that good. Let's just pass the turn. They find a Viscer's Insight with the Cauldron Familiar on the map. They can put that into the graveyard for extra value. They do. Then they can Insight nutrient block or something. They're going to get in for 2. I will block with my God-pharoah's Faithful, because if they play Pestilence and kill the creatures, then I could potentially figure out a way to snap just this one Faithful off the table. If visitors incite their cat, and they can bring back the cat, sacrificing up to 3 foods here. There's a Pestilence. They play a plant. I feel that if they were going to play the plant, that means that they're not going to wipe right now, because they would have had to board wipe before they played it. I will start with attacking in. Then I will draw 2 cards. Finding a Modern Age. Play the Chancery. Pick up the Plains. Let's play the Modern Age. This is really a lost cause at this point. So we're playing for clock, unfortunately. Like, I could go Faithful into Preordain, and then it's going to cost them a bunch of time as they have to respond, or they're going to have to deal with all these life gain triggers. So I think that's my best bet at this point, is just to try to gain as much life as possible. I don't know if there's going to be a way for me to not die to the cats, but it'll be a long time coming. Actually, there's a chance I could deep analysis them, so maybe I keep top. The other thing is, if they clear my board and they have only single Cauldron Familiar, I can snap their Cauldron Familiar to their hand potentially, which would stop them from being able to pest me. What they should do here is board wipe my creatures and then start bringing their cat back. Or they can bring their cat back, sack their, kill the cat, and then sack the block. I guess they have a lot of options. The main thing they don't have is time. They have another cat. Plays a Calming Garden. 14 cards in library. But they're leaving up mana to Campfire, so it's not that great. We'll discard land. We'll go Familiar. I don't really have any options. I should scoop, but I think that we have to play the clock. Mulldrifter. This is where Dawnbringer Cleric would have just ended the game, because I could have just clericed it. That would have been over. Opponent will sacrifice. I will attempt to snap. Attempt to ephemerate. None of this matters. I'm just going to go next game. It's not worth it. Okay. So we have Revoke Existence. We have Negate. Prohibit. I'm going to take all but 1 Faithful to start. I don't think I need the Murmuring Mystic. It's possible that I want the Dust to Dust, but I don't think so. But we can maybe just go down 2 snaps for a Dust to Dust for their artifacts. And now we need to be a little bit more aggressive. We're going to keep this hand. We'll Island and Ponder. Foil Drifter Familiar, huh? Okay. So I think I keep these. No shuffle. I'll pass the turn. We're going to draw Familiar, then Mulldrifter, then Foil. Opponent plays a Nutrient block. So I'll just run out of Familiar. They'll probably kill it. Familiar is dead. Let's Island Cycle. And then play the Modern Age. I'll just get rid of the Snap. So I like that the Modern Age is a threat that they have to manage. Opponent Bajuka Bogs. Then the Viscer's Insight, sacrificing their Nutrient block. We draw Preordain. We can discard the Modern Age. Try a Preordain, looking for lands. Mancer Ephemerate. Unfortunately, didn't find lands. Try a Preordain again. There's a land. Bottom. We'll top. Play land. Preordain again. Okay, we have Ephemerate and Flicker. So I think I bottom, top the Ephemerate, and then we can potentially have the opportunity to go Mulldrifter plus Ephemerate. Opponent plays a Calming Garden. Now, okay, we have a Chancery. We can pick up the island for the foil. They're playing Snuff Out in their deck. I'm going to tap 3, play the Chancery, pick up the island, and then evoke the Mulldrifter. I try to Ephemerate. We can foil pitch foil or foil pitch the Familiar. They pay 2 mana. Casting a Viscer's Insight in response. Interesting. So I guess I'm not going to respond to that. Maybe they have... Oh, they had nothing. Okay, great. So I have foil pitch Deep Analysis, as well as foil pitch Familiar, and then I can Archaeomancer back the Ephemerate and Ephemerate the Mulldrifter again. Foil pitch Deep Analysis is big game. I go Pestilence. I will say Force of Will. Sweet! We're doing it. I'll Ephemerate the Mulldrifter. Looking for another island. We found islands, so now I can Familiar, Archaeomancer, get back the Ephemerate, and then just draw more cards. Rotten Reunion. I will Counterspell. Then I will Ephemerate the Mulldrifter. Attack for 2. I probably should have... Well, I needed the cards in hand, though. They have another Pestilence. They can get rid of a bunch of my stuff. Plays a Pestilence. Pew, pew, pew. Okay. Can't get rid of everything. We'll Ephemerate the Familiar. Play Mortuary Mire. Get back Archaeomancer. Draw 2 cards. I don't really want the Pestilence to stick around. I have my Faithful now. Play the Archaeomancer. Oops. I get extra mana. Interesting. What do I want to do? I probably just play it for the foil. Play it for the Ephemerate for the foil. Okay. Get the Ephemerate. Get the foil. Attack for 2. Was not expecting Rotten Reunion, but I suppose that is a thing that can happen. They're going to kill some creatures. Kills all the creatures. They don't have a food right now. Plays a Colony Garden and a Campfire. Alright. We cannot cast the Ephemerate. We'll go Faithful. Draw 2 cards. Looking for the Revoke Existence. Let's draw 2 more cards. Puts me to 11 life. So we're tied on life, but they have a Campfire. Now I have a Snap. Let's play Island. Pass the turn. We can foil pitching Island Plains. It's annoying. This is always a brutal matchup playing against green mid-range. They killed their plant. So that's interesting. Avenging Hunter. How about no? Counterspell. Plays a Colony Garden. Let's jam a Muldrifter. It looks like they just declined to kill the Muldrifter. Okay. Land. We find another Deep Analysis. I wonder if I should just draw 2. Okay. End step. They will... Visitors Insight their plant. Alright. When it has a Limbus, they get to scry and draw. I could also sacrifice it in response, and then it would go back into the deck before they scry and draw. Worth noting they have Rotten Reunion to make a creature at instant speed. So if all the creatures are dead, they can Rotten Reunion to make a creature, then I would have to snap that. They will Troll of Khazad-dûm, getting a Swamp, plays a Nutrient block, 3 cards in hand. Now, with so little cards in hand, maybe I would consider trying to get rid of their, or counter a draw spell. Our last island. That's not good. I'll start by attacking with the Muldrifter. Opponent's going to Pestilence. Pestilence again. Alright, so they don't have a creature right now. I'll Deep Analysis to draw some cards. Drawing the Modern Age. Let's Deep Analysis again. I go to 9 life. We have the Revoke Existence. So right now, I think I just play Chancery, pick up the Mortuary Mire, and then snap my Faithful. They're going to Pestilence in response. Okay. So Pestilence is going to die here. They go to 8 life. I will get rid of this Chancery. I have another Avenging Hunter. That's a big time bummer. We can put the Archaeomancer on top. We have a Snap at all? We do have a Snap. They go into the Undercity. And I found a Prohibit. So I'm Mortuary Mire. Get back Archaeomancer. Yes. I'll play Sunscape Familiar. Play the Modern Age. We'll draw. Discard the Island. Archaeomancer. We'll grab Snap. They have the Rotten Reunion right now. We're going to Fairy Macabre. I'll Ephemerate. Get back Snap again. I think I misplayed this because of the Rotten Reunion. Oh, I can just counterspell it. Duh. Counterspell. They sacrifice a nutrient block looking for an answer. Gains 3 life. Fairy Macabre exiles a foil. We will snap the Avenging Hunter. Slam a Muldrifter. Looking for a negate. Did not find a negate. So I'll just preordain. Mancer Flicker. Top and top. So if we survive, we can win because we have the counterspell lock. But it just depends on them. They would have to not draw the initiative or not draw Pestilence. Yeah, this deck is part of the reason why I don't usually play Familiars now. I'm just like tired of grinding things out. They're going to make my Sunscape Familiar a 2/5. Too bad I can't attack. Fanatical Offering on Limbus. They're trying to find 2 removal spells. They crack the Campfire to put cards back in their deck. Plays a Swamp, 7 mana in play. They were doing something there for a second. Snuff out on my Archaeomancer. Pays 7 mana. Plays a Troll. And a Nutrient block. So I really need to taking the initiative is priority number 1. I will Ephemerate the Familiar. Draw. We'll discard Revoke Existence. Play a Familiar. Archaeomancer. Get Ephemerate. Ephemerate. Get Prohibit. Flicker. Get back Flicker. Get back Archaeomancer. And then I will evoke a Muldrifter. Well, I think I just No, that didn't really work. It didn't work the way I wanted it to work. Oh, I can attack and then respond to the trigger. I'm going to attack. We will take the initiative. Flicker. Get back. Go see Flicker. All right, we drew a foil. We take the initiative. We'll grab our nothing. Archaeomancer. Get the snap. Bounce the troll. Untap. Okay. That was a lot. Now all I care about is counterspelling a pestilence. Do I care about the Avenging Hunter? They have 4 mana left, so I guess I will. Do I care? They will deal me 5 damage. That's fine. I'll go to 3 life. They play another Limbus. They have 1 card in hand that seems to matter. They have Troll and 2 cards. Plays a Colony Garden. Okay. You have a plant. I'll Flicker. Get back Snap. Get back Flicker. Alright, they concede. So I really should have ran the clock out a bit more. They have 8:38 on clock now. How do I beat this? The Dust to Dust I don't think is that going to be any good. So with a clock battle like this, we just need to stay ahead. Snap seems like it's probably pretty important. I wonder if the Modern Age is not that good in this. Oh no, maybe we can take out a Ponder. But what are we going to bring in? I'll just leave it like this. So we're at 60 cards. Just cutting the Dust to Dust. Okay. I think this is fine. We can make land drops for a while. We have a Prohibit as a counterspell. They go Cauldron Familiar right away. They're going aggro. That's not good. Land. Pass. Colony Garden on the table. They'll get in for, they play a Nutrient Block. Gets in for 1. I'll cycle for an island. Play island. Pass. Getting rid of the cat doesn't really do anything because they have the Nutrient Block. Play Limbus. I will counter it. They play land. We'll play Chancery, picking up the island. When it gets in for an additional 1 damage. I can snap their cat and then play Muldrifter if they tap their black mana. They Fanatical Offering the one of the plants. Plays another plant. Okay. And a Campfire. I drew a foil. So let's snap a plant. Untap. Play the plains. Jam a Muldrifter. So now I have blocks. And I can foil pitch island. Foil pitching the Deep Analysis. I'm trying to get to my turn without having anything here. Because if I mean, they could have Snuff Out plus removal spell. I need to counter the initiative if that's a thing. They play another Colony Garden. Feels like they have the initiative. They play a Nutrient Block, 2 cards in hand. So blocking here gives them another draw because of the Nutrient Block. I'm not sure that I want to do that. They pay 2 mana. Cast down. I will counterspell. And then they map, finding a Troll. They put the Troll in the graveyard. We have another Muldrifter. Let's go Muldrifter Ephemerate. Evoke. Draw 2. Darn. We'll Ephemerate this Muldrifter. Play Island. Play Ponder. If I draw... We have Mancer, Negate, so... Just have to get to the next turn. And attack. If they have the initiative, I guess it's probably going to be fine for me. I can snap it and get back foil. They're getting in for 2. That's the thing that's not good. I'm getting whittled away by this Cauldron Familiar. They sack a Nutrient Block. With only 1 block left, maybe blocking the cat is fine. They have 6 minutes and a half on clock. Ephemerate, okay. Ephemerate is going to target a Muldrifter. I'm going to pop out our window. So I didn't say before, but I like to keep my exile window over here so it's not in the way. Cast down. I'll go for Negate. They gain 2 life. Okay. Familiar would be good. We draw Mancers. So let's play Island. I will bounce the cat. Untap. Play Archaeomancer. Grab the Ephemerate. And then Ephemerate for foil. And attack for 2. So, like I said before, their main win condition is Pestilence. We have that covered now with the Negate. We really want to cover a Avenging Hunter, so we have the foil. Foil right now pitching Archaeomancer. I don't think I can afford to counterspell a draw 2 with my foil. They're sacrificing the block with 2 mana. Goes to 25. Plays a Swamp. Now is this Pestilence, so I have to counterspell this. Counterspell, pitch Archaeomancer. I'll Ephemerate the Archaeomancer. Grab the Ephemerates. I'll play... I can go Faithful right now, or just play Ephemerate for foil. I think Ephemerate to get foil is the best. And then play land. When it says GG's Serpato. That was a tough match. I'm glad to have pulled it out. Hopefully it was well executed. I don't know. We'll see in round 2. Round 2, we've opened basically no lander again. We're versus Qwerty. They're a classic Pauper player. They've played Familiars in the past. We are just mulliganing to infinity. 3 cards. So we're going to mulligan to 0. Let's see what my opponent is going to play. They're Scoured Barrens. So I'm using the yields, just seeing what they're up to. It could be a Pestilence deck, could be like Black-White Ninjas. They play a Thraben Inspector. It's going to pass. Scoured Barrens. This feels like Pestilence or like a white-black mid-range deck. They play Limbus. All right, so white-black mid-range. I will concede. We'll just plan for that. I mean, it's probably a refurb deck. We want probably negate, prohibit, and foil, or negate, prohibit, revoke. We'll get rid of the foil. We'll probably cut on some number of snaps. Could also bring in a Last Breath to take care of their creatures. This is going, if it is a Flyers plus refurb deck, this makes the Modern Age plus Deep Analysis pretty good. So it's worth noting that in none of those hands did we have Island plus a cantrip, and we also didn't have Island plus anything that could have been a Lorien. So usually these 2 Ponders and maybe 2 of the Deep Analysis would have been a Lorien. We just drew double Chancery lands. Opponent is sideboarding blind, which is the important thing, but they probably will just guess I'm on Familiars. I'm on the play. I have Island cantrip. I'm going to keep Island Preordain. We get to see 1, 2, 3, 4 cards for the second land. And if the second land is a Chancery, then it's all good. Floodplain go. Bojuka Bog for the opponent. We did not find a land. Let's preordain. No land, huh? Let's see if we find a land now. We did. All is well. Now I can Modern Age, pitch the Deep Analysis, or if they play a Refurbished Familiar, I can just discard Deep Analysis and draw some cards. They play a Nile Spellbomb. That ruins my Modern Age discard Deep Analysis plan. Then they play an Orzhov Basilica. So I guess I will go land, play Sunscape Familiar, because I have the negate in my hand. Opponent plays a Novice Inspector. I could snap the Inspector and then play out the Mystic. Let's just see what I draw here. They are going to negate or cast down, so I will counterspell. Draw Faithful. Well, I can go Faithful, snap. Snapping, that's not very good. Let's Modern Age. Draw Mortuary Mire. So I'm going to discard Faithful and then play Mortuary Mire and put it on top. No, I will not put it on top. Basically, I'm just saving the snap for the Familiar to keep it alive. They play a Limbus. Now here in this next turn, plays a Glinthawk. Glinthawk will return the Limbus. And then they play the Bojuka Bog. They can't attack, or they choose not to attack. They obviously could attack if they really wanted to. We'll draw on discard. So now I can discard the Snap and play the Murmuring Mystic, or I can discard Snap and go Deep Analysis and draw 4 cards holding up the Prohibit. Let's do that. 1, 2, 3. Well, Deep Analysis. We have to cast the Deep Analysis right now, or they get priority and they can Spellbomb away my Deep Analysis. So I draw another 2. Yeah, that was not the greatest cards, but we hit our land clump. And we will untap and make a 2-3. They're getting in. I wonder if they have Okiba Gang. I would be sad. There's the Okiba Gang Shinobi. And we will discard Plains Chancery. So our 4 cards drawn is pretty good into that, at least. And we can play Murmuring Mystic, Counterspell, a bunch of stuff. Do I want to counterspell their value cards? Probably. I don't know that it matters that much. We just need to draw our own cards. Ooh, they have a Vault of Whispers that they were sandbagging. We draw a negate. 1, 2, 3. Play Murmuring Mystic. I'll Chancery, pick up. I guess here it's going to be Island. So I don't have any creatures in the graveyard. Usually I would pick up the Mortuary Mire so that I could have the option of getting a creature back. The Nile Spellbomb makes that not very good. But the Mortuary Mire can force them to want to crack the Spellbomb. Let's negate the Limbus, so that if they want to play their Hawk, they have to pick up the Spellbomb, or they have to pick up the Clue. And then I'm holding Prohibit for removal spells. So we're looking to top deck something. Cast down. I will counterspell. Plays the Plains. Declines to attack. I'm going to attack with my birds. I'm going to leave these 2 lands in hand, just for the moment. I could draw another Vector Glider, another Modern Age, and discard. They crack a Clue. Maybe I should have attacked with the Vector Glider as well. Like, what was I really getting out of saving it? Probably nothing. Just looking for a Muldrifter now. They don't want to play their Glinhawk and pick up the Spellbomb, huh? Preordain. Wheat. Drifter Mancer. I'm going to top and top. Play the Muldrifter. Drawing the Mancer is not amazing into the Spellbomb, but it does force it. We'll attack with our birds, our flyers. Now they crack the Spellbomb. So I can prohibit something and then Mancer back to prohibit. They play a Vault of Whispers. No attacks. Okay. I'm hoping to draw... Okay. I was going to say I was hoping to draw an instant or sorcery, and we did. Ponder. We find Modern Age. So we can play the Modern Age, discard the Ash Barrens, play the Archaeomancer for the Ponder. I like that. No shuffle. Modern Age. We'll discard the Ash Barrens. We'll go Archaeomancer. Pick up the Ponder. Then we can play Island and get in. Opponent's turn. They have a Duress, so we'll just have to counterspell. It's better for us to counterspell so they don't know what's in my hand than it is for them to just take the counterspell. They concede. Nice. Now everything is on the up and up. We are worried about... We're definitely worried about the Okiba Gang, but can't do too much about it. The Faithful in play is like one of the best things we can do into the Okiba Gang. Snap is also good into it. Their clock wasn't too strong, but Faithful stops their Okiba Gang, so it's like, do I want it? Maybe I can just bring 3 Faithful, 3 Snap. All right, we have a mulligan here. 19 lands, we drew 1. Okay, this one's better. What do we do? Opponent mulligan to 6. I think we keep and we get rid of the Plains. That's because the Plains is probably one of our worst cards. Having our deck is a blue deck splashing white. We really don't want to be looking at a Plains. I can't take these 2 cards though. I could have maybe taken the Modern Age, but and we drew Modern Age. Okay. Let's see. Opponent plays an Orzhov Basilica. If I draw land, I will just pass, but I did not draw land. So we'll play the Modern Age. Get rid of the Flicker. Can't use it right now. It sucks to bin it, but we have to do something. Opponent plays an Ancient Den. Refurbished Familiar. Refurb. We'll get rid of the Modern Age here. I dislike refurb. We draw a card. We will get rid of, guess it's the Prohibit. And then I'll just play the Familiar, play the Chancery, pick up the Island, or the Plains. This means I have a couple of options. If they go Okiba Gang, I can discard Prohibit and Plains, then I can snap it and play a Muldrifter, or just play a Muldrifter. They're getting in for 2. Another Refurbished Familiar would cost 2 mana right now. If they go like Hawk, pick up Refurb, replay Refurb, they can't really do that because they don't have enough resources. They cast down my creature. Plays up a Jukabog. Okay. And a Glinhawk. Then they pick up the Refurbished Familiar. We find a Chancery. So I think I'm going to snap your Glinhawk. Actually, I'm just going to play the Plains and pass. I can counterspell the Glinhawk with my Prohibit by kicking it. I will kick a Prohibit and counterspell the Refurbished Familiar. When it declines to attack, we find a Ponder. I'll cast the Ponder. Ephemerate, negate, snap. So I think I take the negate on top, play the Chancery, pick up the Island. Now I can go snap, but I don't have enough for negate plus Ephemerate on the Muldrifter. But next turn, we're looking to get rid of your thing, then go Drifter Ephemerate. They're going to play another Refurbished Familiar. Darn. Okay. So I guess I get rid of the snap. They play a Plains, play a Glinhawk. They cannot play the Refurbished Familiar right now, but they do pick it up. All right, my turn. Land. So I can leave open a blue, but that doesn't really matter. We're going to evoke a Muldrifter. Discarding us 1 card a turn. We're about to draw 6 cards, hopefully. Ephemerate the Muldrifter. We draw Revoke Existence. I'm going to... I think I just have to pass. We have the snap for the Okiba Gang. We can just discard the Revoke Existence, I think, to the Okiba Gang, and then just keep our mana online. We want to get the Prohibit so we can Ephemerate and Prohibit all their junk. Refurbished Familiar. Okay, fine. Boring, but it happens. They don't attack. My turn. Ephemerate the Muldrifter. Can this resolve? It does resolve. Okay, we go... We can Faithful. I don't know if that's that good. I think I just go land Archaeomancer. Get back to Ephemerate. And then I just ephemerate the Moldrafter. Let's draw some more cards. I want to draw every card. How many cards? All of them. All of them. Okay. Opponent concedes. Woo! We pulled it off after not even playing game 1. I'll see you in round 3. Round 3, no lander. I'm doing this to myself. We'll keep... This seems really bad, but we have our best 1 and 2 drop. We'll get rid of the plains. Don't know what RW Bailey is on. Burn. Always burn. Alright, so I will not foil that. But we'll play a plains, faithful. Okay. Now I could consider foiling something. Probably not this turn. But if they go like snacker, they grab a snacker, I think I will foil. Tomb Raider. So they're on not Madness Burn. Getting in. I have to not block because I feel they will go land bolt. And they did show that they would do that. Let's cycle the Ash Barrens, grabbing an island. And then play Chancery, which will pick up the plains. This is Rally Red, a go-wide strategy. They are looking to hit us with a bunch of Burning Tree Emissaries into Rally the Hornburg. This one, Rally the Hornburg. Now, I don't know if I have to counterspell that, but I think I'm going to let it go. Then we're going to hope that they don't have another land by blocking here. And if they go land bolt, we will go foil. They did not land bolt. Oh, we have a great position now. We can play familiar. Bonk, get rid of a human, gain a life, untap. I can hold foil, or I can play the ponder. I probably should hold the foil. That allows me to not discard most of my hand. If I ended up with just ponder, I feel like that's not good enough. So for cards in their deck, they have Galvanic Blast, which means that if I block the Faithful on the Tomb Raider, they could Galvanic Blast it. They only have one artifact in play, so Metalcraft is not online. If they have a Lightning Bolt like this, they have to go over after the Sunscape Familiar. We're just going to hardcast it, foil. Cancel, not the greatest. And then we would just block the Faithful on an Epicure. They choose Chain Lightning. So now I can probably just block the Tomb Raider again. They've used 6 points of burn. We go to 13. My turn on a floodplain. That's not very good. I will ponder. Don't know. Deep Analysis Moldrafter. I mean, these are good cards. They are slow cards. I think I have to keep them though. And in order to make that work, I'll play the floodplain out. So next turn I'm just slamming the Moldrafter and I'll draw Island plus 1 unknown. Experimental Synthesizer from the opponent. They find a Great Furnace. Now they can Galvanic Blast the Faithful. So they showed us 2 bolts. They probably Galvanic right now. There's the Galvanic. We're going to go to 10. No follow-up. So next turn they'll probably crack the Synthesizer. My best draw is Snap plus a Faithful. Or maybe like Archaeomancer. Because Archaeomancer can get back Snap. We can take a human off the table. Or if they crack the Synthesizer for a 2/2 Vigilance Knight, then I can get that off the table. They use the blood token to discard a mountain. So they have probably 3 action cards, maybe a mountain in hand, but most likely not. I'm wanting to trade for a 1/1, but we'll see what happens here. If they bushwhack, I have to stick my creature in front of the Tomb Raider. This is a lot of damage coming in. It'll put me to 4 already. I'll block. So I go to 4. Galvanic Blast is not online. My turn. I draw a familiar. So I can go play familiar, play Archaeomancer for the foil, play the plains, or just go foil pitching plains. That might be my best option. The other thing I can do is go familiar, Mancer, snap, and then deep analysis and hope I just don't die. I would die to a bolt. I think I just have to do that. Archaeomancer or Sunscape Familiar, Mancer. We'll grab the snap. Because foiling at this point, not very good. This is one of the matchups where foil is pretty medium. We'll bounce your creature. Untap. I also don't really want to flashback the deep analysis right now. They have 2 creatures. I have 2 creatures. We draw a Chancery and an island. So we have hit the flood. Opponent goes Epicure. Now a bolt finishes me off. There's a Tomb Raider. So, and then Galvanic Blast. Okay. Once again, opponent, I was tapped out. There was no reason for you to play the Tomb Raider and then Galvanic Blast. But probably what happened was they went This Galvanic Blast cost is only 2 damage. And then they played the Epicure and forgot about Metalcraft. Just really annoying when burn players can't count. They'll figure it out. We bring in the Hydros. We bring in the Negates. We're going to get rid of 1 Archaeomancer, 4 foils, and then Ephemerate, a Flicker. Okay. Can we beat the Rally Burn deck with a very strong start? We have a pretty mid hand. There's like some things to like about it. We have some answers early, but our first play is the Plains, which is not very good. We have Prohibit for their 2-drop, and the 2-drops are the best cards in their deck usually, so we'll see. Best draw for me is probably going to be an Island, or I guess, yeah, always probably is going to be the Faithful, right? We go land, get an Island, play the Island, pass a turn, try to counter something, and we try to grab a Faithful off the top somehow. I'll pass. Epicure to start for the opponent. Another Prohibit for me, so I guess I'm just going to pass. If I can counter something, I'm going to snap a Prohibit off on literally anything, especially a 2-drop. And they might know that and just not cast anything. I'll counterspell your Clockwork. But I need to spend my mana where I can. They play a Tomb Raider. So the Clockwork was bait, right? But what am I going to do? Nothing. I could have a Mortuary Mire, so I can play Mire, pass, since I made a land drop. If they play a Bushwhacker, I counter. If they don't play a Bushwhacker, I Hydra the Tomb Raider. 2 mana. Here's a Bushwhacker, Burning Tree. So stopping the Burning Tree chain is very important. So counterspell. Now Faithful is a really good draw. If I go Faithful and I can preordain into an Island, it'd be even better. We draw a Floodplain, so I will play the Floodplain and pass. We're getting beat down. Now here's the Bushwhack. Another Burning Tree. Oh geez. Counterspell. This has been weird. They get in for 3. I would have lost this handedly already on the draw. We have a Deep Analysis. I need to preordain. So I'll go top, play the Familiar, cast preordain, and then do I want the Chancery? I think I do because I need the colored sources. So I will top, play the Chancery, and then I will pick up the Plains. I could consider picking up the Mortuary Mire. Opponent's counting. You don't love to see that. Tomb Raider again, and then they have 8 damage with the Bushwhacker. I can block with that whether an Epicure or a Bushwhacker. Lightning Bolt. Gets in for 5. So I have to find a Faithful. I'll cast Preordain. Faithful Hydro. Faithful. Okay, so I'll top. Play the land. Play the Faithful. Plan here being to block a Tomb Raider and Hydroblast a Tomb Raider. They have 2 cards in hand. Cannot Galvanic me. 2 mana for a rally. So if I block and hit that, so I think I have to counterspell, which puts me to 6. I block and then a bolt kills me. I just didn't have enough mana to do everything. They're going to put me to 3 life, and they have the bolt. Oh, they have a Voltaire and Epicure, not a bolt. I'm at 2 life. I can block 1, 2, 3, 4. We cast Deep Analysis and go to 3 life. Play a Faithful. So block. I'm at 3. Interesting. I can go to 1, and the next turn cast a Muldrifter and have Hydroblast. Then I'll go back to 3, and I can block again. This is scary. They're just going to cast it. Okay. Counterspell. Guess I can't not cast it. I would have died if this resolved, so they had to just send it. We'll block and go to 3. Then I can Muldrifter and go back to 5. And then I can cast the Deep Analysis and go to 4. Let's see where we get from here. Island. So 5 mana for a Muldrifter. We go to 5. Draw. Modern Age. Let's play out a Familiar. Pass the turn. They have... I can't deal 5 damage right now. They discard a Great Furnace. That's a good sign. Now Galvanic Blast is off the table. They're going to discard again, discarding a Mountain. 1 card in hand again. I can't just jam the Deep Analysis because they could respond with a Lightning Bolt or even the Galvanic. Okay. I draw Archaeomancer. So I will play Archaeomancer. And I will return the Hydroblast. I'm at 7 life. They might bolt the Archaeomancer right now. They don't. And then I will Deep Analysis going to 4 and then back to 6. But I have a lot of blockers. Once you set up blockers versus the rally deck, it seems like it's a lot easier to win. And we have another Chancery. So this time Chancery can pick up Mortuary Mire. Or I could have played Island and then discard the Chancery to the Modern Age. But here I can throw away a Mole Drifter, blocking a Tomb Raider or something, and then I can Mortuary Mire it back and get it, like, play the Modern Age into the Mole Drifter. They have 2 cards in hand now. Snap. So let's attack with the Mole Drifter, and then snap on the Mole Drifter. Can I rebuy my Mole Drifter, please? Because I'm going to rebuy it anyway. They'll allow it. Okay. Untap. I'll slam the Drifter. Just maximizing my untapped blue mana by tapping the plains. We draw Murmuring Mystic, which is strong. Play the Murmuring Mystic. I like the Murmuring Mystic in this matchup because it just keeps putting more blockers on the table, even though it's pretty expensive. We're going to draw a card. When it just says, that's it, I'm done. Okay, so post board, we are mulliganing to, we're going to get rid of the prohibits and bring back in the foils. And then I think we need to get rid of something. Maybe it's a Deep Analysis or the Murmuring Mystic. I like Deep Analysis against their, I guess we'll just bring in 2 foils. But there's a possibility that I need to tap out and then use the foil to stop them from bushwhacking me. Oh man, my deck is not cooperating. The odds of drawing a single land should be higher. Wow, okay, so this is a hand we're going to keep. Now we can get rid of Mole Drifter or the Deep Analysis. If I draw a Modern Age, the Deep Analysis is probably better. Get rid of the Mole Drifter. Opponent leads on Mountain, Tomb Raider. I have a snap. Play the island. I can Hydroblast the Tomb Raider right now. Let's see what my opponent is going to do. If they play a Synthesizer, I'll try to Hydro the Synthesizer. Plays 2 mana for a Bushwhacker. I'll counterspell that. So they'll get in for 1. They probably have multiple Bushwhackers if they went for on turn 2. We have another Hydroblast, but I think I need to just grab my plains and get the Faithful on the table. Burning Tree into what? Rally at the Hornburg. Burning Tree has haste. We'll block the Burning Tree. They have the land bolt. They didn't have the bolt. Oh, thank God. Okay, so I think I have to preordain, even though I want to use this Hydroblast because I need a blue source. We're going to bottom both of these. We're looking for blue sources. Didn't find one. Not good. Here comes a Reckless Impulse. What do they find? There's a Bushwhacker. Okay. Bushy coming in. They're going to come in for 8 damage. What would be a good draw? Island, really. Chancery is an okay draw. I'll play the Chancery. Pick up the plains. Bounce a human. Untap. Play Archaeomancer. I'm going to still pick up the snap. I'm at 11. I'm happy to block the Bushwhacker with my Archaeomancer. I don't need to block the human soldier token because I have the snap to get rid of it. Opponent plays another Bushwhacker. Now I have to block everything. So we will block and block. Take 6 damage. They don't have anything right now. Play snap on the human soldier token. Untap. We'll use Deep Analysis. Find a foil. Interesting. So I guess I can play the plains. Play the plains. I think I'm going to hold on to this foil in my island and the plains. And I can potentially pitch the island, but we're probably going to pitch here. And this is showing the lack of blue mana. Opponent getting in. I'll block. We go to 5 life. Maybe I snap the Tomb Raider just to make a mana. I draw a Mole Drifter. I'll snap the Tomb Raider. Let's see, we have 4 men in play. Snap Tomb Raider. Untap. Play land. Jam a Mole Drifter. And then we have Hydroblast right now for a removal spell. And then we have foil pitching island whatever. We draw Ephemerate. Oh, we can pitch the Deep Analysis. Good. We haven't been able to use it, but if we get ahead, we're going to seal the deal. They play a mountain. Maybe they've just been holding on to lands. Voldaren Epicure. I will Hydroblast. So by Hydroblasting this in my head, I'm thinking, okay, you don't get a blood token. That means your Tomb Raiders are 1/2 without haste, but they get another Epicure anyway. Okay. So now they can play their Tomb Raider as a 1/2 with haste. I could foil this, but I'm waiting to use the Ephemerate, I think. They attack with just their 2/2s, so I'll go to 5 life. They loot away a mountain. 1 card left. If they drew a bolt, I have to counterspell with the foil. I need this Faithful really bad. The Faithful is my whole game plan. I can't give up the Faithful at the moment. Galvanic, we're going to counterspell. They thought about that for a minute. I'm at 6 life. Let's play a Faithful. Back with the Mole Drifter. Then Ephemerate the Mole Drifter, draw 2 cards. We find Mancer Modern Age. I think I Deep Analysis and go to 5 life. 3, 4, 5 life. Now Island. Play the Modern Age. Back to 7 life. We will discard the Deep Analysis. And then on the following turn, I have Familiar into Archaeomancer plus grab the Hydroblast. We have 3 blockers at the moment. They don't have an artifact, so I can just put my Muldrifter in front of the Tomb Raider. They have another Rally at the Hornburg, so that's great for me because they're just showing their hand has nothing. I don't have to play around anything. Getting in. Block, block, and block. Definitely want to take the Tomb Raider off the table while it's not a 2-2. I'm at 4 life, but I still don't feel concerned anymore. We will Ephemerate the Muldrifter, draw 2 cards, draw a card for turn. It's a Hydro. We'll draw for the Modern Age. We'll discard this Preordain, play land, play Sunscape Familiar. We're going to go Archaeomancer and return the Ephemerate. And then I could Ephemerate for Snap, but I think it's just better to... Or I could Ephemerate the Muldrifter because I already have Hydro in hand. Let's just draw cards. Draw cards. Now that's a sign of strength. Opponent, your turn. And we drew Chancery plus Island. We could play either. Playing Chancery turns my plains into a blue source essentially, but my opponent concedes. Let's see what happens in round 4. Round 4. We finally have lands in our opener. This is a keep, I think. Wonder what we'll draw. We are on the draw. Opponent on Mistvault Bridge. That's probably a refurbished familiar deck. We can play Floodplain. Then they refurb, we discard Deep Analysis, we play land, we draw 2. Vault of Whispers, plays Ichor Wellspring. We find a Snap. I'll start with a Ponder. Chancery, Deep Analysis, Flicker. So Flicker on the bottom, then Chancery, then Deep Analysis. And we will play Island. We'll Preordain. And I'll put the Flicker on the bottom. Pop the Chancery. I'm looking to discard the Deep Analysis or find a way to get my Drifter Ephemerate going. Our opponent plays a Thoughtcast and a Reckoner's Bargain. They will have to discard the hand size here. I might have to discard the hand size as well. I would discard the plains. We know we're not drawing Flicker. What? Top bottom. Top bottom. Play Chancery. I will pick up the island and discard the plains. That was our second Flicker in the deck. Usually I don't have 2 Flickers, but I think that having 2 Flickers is better in the current metagame where you need to get a Flicker combo online faster. When it has 4 in play, they had discarded a Krarkland Shaman. They play a Chromatic Star. So we know they're Grixis, not just blue-black. Not Dimir. They have 4/5 in play, so they can go Enforcer into Enforcer. They don't. But they're representing... They have Chromatic Star, so they could have a Galvanic. So I'm just going to draw 2 with the Deep Analysis. I'll discard the land or the Flicker. They choose to Reckoner's Bargain in response. We'll discard the plains. Opponent having a hard time finding their red mana. They play Refurbished Familiar. I'll discard Deep Analysis. Plays a Thoughtcast. Oh, so the Nile Spellbomb is annoying. They should probably have cracked it. They should crack it. I have 4 cards waiting. You should crack the Nile Spellbomb. But I can go Snap into Drifter Ephemerate, so who knows? My best draw now is probably a Familiar. If you're not familiar with Utram Monitor, the newer 3/3 from TMNT, from Turtle Team Up. And they will sacrifice the Spellbomb. They get no value out of it, which is the one thing I can be happy about. I'll go Familiar, land, Bounce, untap, play Archaeomancer, get back the Snap, Bounce, untap. We will evoke a Drifter, draw 2. And then I'm just going to, I guess I just Ephemerate the Drifter, find the foil and a Familiar. So here it's foil pitch foil most likely if I want to foil. I could also just discard the foil. They have a lot of cards in hand. I'm not a fan of their Refurbished Familiar, but I will discard the foil. Plays Utram Monitor. Utram Monitor. Okay. They've been just having some issues with their mana. Ephemerate the Archaeomancer. Get back Ephemerate. Play Sunscape Familiar. We drew more Ephemerates. We'll Ephemerate the Mancer. We'll get back the Snap. We will happily bounce the Utram Monitor, untap some lands, Ephemerate the Archaeomancer. Ooh, a Snap. Bounce the Utram Monitor. Now I have no lands tapped. How nice is that? Then I will start drawing cards with my Ghostly Flicker. Draw 2 for 1 mana. Very nice. Let's draw 2 for 1 mana. I'm enjoying this. There's a Murmuring Mystic. And now I get Infinite Birds. Whee! So our opponent is probably dead, but you never know. Let's see if they care to concede or let me do it. I don't have a land drop. Opponent says they've never seen the deck before. Well, this will be on camera, so go ahead and I sent them my link for the channel for after the match, I guess. Okay, so in order to optimize, I actually want to put the stack down here, resolve the trigger, and put the trigger up here, which makes it easier to click. Just some optimizations you can do. Okay, opponent conceded. We had a little chat about, look at all those red cards. Wrecked. Bummer. Okay, we are bringing in the Dust to Dust and the Revoke Existence. We are going to cut the Faithfuls and the Deep Analysis, or the Murmuring Mystic. Our whole plan is to try to dust them into the ground. So we probably can cut a Flicker and an Ephemerate, foil, 3 Hydros here, and submit. I maybe could just play only Ephemerates and not the Flicker as well, but I like the Flicker combo, so I don't know. All right, we have no second land. We have no way to get it. This hand has a lot of power, but nothing to do, and you're reliant on top deck, so we're going to mulligan. The best draw we can have is this kind of draw with Dust to Dust. So we're going to keep. I am considering, I'll just put back the Modern Age, expecting that they will probably play a Refurbished Familiar, play Snow-Covered Island, pass the turn. We drew another Snap. The Snap can turn the Chancery into 2 white pips. We draw a Hydroblast. I'll play Chancery, pick up the island. Now the next turn, I'm going to go Familiar and hold open the Hydroblast to protect it. They refurb. I'll discard Deep Analysis. They play a Thoughtcast. And now I'm going to go... okay, this is an interesting play. Land, play Sunscape Familiar. Snap your Refurbished Familiar. Untap. Draw 2 cards. Snap my Sunscape Familiar. Dust to Dust. Bam. Pass the turn. Next turn, I get to play the Archaeomancer for 4 mana, getting back the Dust to Dust. Opponent plays out a Draw Forge Bridge. We just draw the Dust to Dust like a champ. Kapow. Your turn. They got nothing. You'll love to see it. And we will probably play out... I guess I'm just going to... Mancer back the Dust to Dust. I mean, that's what you gotta do. Flawless victory. We'll see you in round 5. GG. Round 5. Let's go. Nope. So this hand also looks like it's good, right? But we have literally nothing to do. So we're going to mulligan. This hand's pretty good. Let's keep and get rid of the plains, because this puts me closer to doing some shenanigans with maybe playing foil. We can cycle for island, play a familiar on turn 2. Okay, our opponent's on swamp. Carrion Feeder. Okay. I'm a little nervous about that. Let's island cycle. Grab an island, untap, play the Chancery. I mean, I could have maybe just gone for the plains and then play the familiar on turn 2. Dark Ritual. I'm gonna go ahead and counter because it seems like that's important to them. And they might only have 1 land. They only have 1 land. They'll get in for 1. We draw Mancer. Oops. Play out the Sunscape Familiar. Next turn, I can play Mancer for foil. Don't know what I'm really looking to draw. They play Nested Shambler. They can sacrifice a Nested Shambler to kill my familiar, so I'm not really into that right now. Draw Deep Analysis. I'll draw 2 cards. I need some lands now. Finding a land. Let's draw 2 more cards. Okay, your turn. So opponent probably has the Supernatural Stamina. We're going to not block. It will Stamina. Yep, and then they can deal me a lot of damage. But next turn I can block the Carrion Feeder and Ephemerate my Sunscape Familiar. Let's play the Modern Age. We drew a foil, but I don't know how good that is. Or a Deep Analysis. We draw a Snap. Snap is pretty good. So let's get rid of Deep Analysis. Play Snap targeting... I'm going to target your Carrion Feeder with a Snap. They were F6. Very nice for me. So now I can play Archaeomancer and grab Snap. And then go ahead and bounce the Nested Shambler. They can't sacrifice it. They concede. Nice. 1 win away. We're 2 games away from victory, I guess. I I don't think that negate prohibit is really where I want to be. It seemed like you just have to pick your spots for the foil. I do like foil with 4 deep analysis. This is just maximum value. Quad modern age, quad deep analysis. I love it. Okay, our opponent's on the play. We know they're playing dark rituals. I think we do have to keep this hand, unfortunately. We have tap land, but we can get an island. We have Murmuring Mystic, potentially. They play Mortician Beetle on turn 1. Okay, I find Plains. So I can go Plains and cycle for an island. Nested Shambler already. They play a Carrion Feeder. They're coming out of the gate very fast, which is scary. I don't know how I can win now. We're already dead. It's turn 2. Play out the Familiar. They have a Curse of Marauder. I'm done. I'm just done. But now that we're on the play, I think that Prohibit is where I want to be. Prohibits. Maybe Prohibits and negates, and we don't play the Mystic or the foils, because Mystic foils are a little slow. Let's go. Well, turn 2 modern age pitch deep analysis. I mean, sort of what I came here to do. Then we're trying to find a white source. Mortician Beetle for the opponent. Play the modern age and draw a card, discard deep analysis. Swamp for the opponent. Snarling Gorehound. So this one is a creature that lets them surveil every time they get a creature with power 1 or 2 or less. Lots of those creatures will be entering the battlefield. They get in for 1. We find a modern age. We draw. We'll discard this modern age. We'll island cycle. I probably should have pondered first. I mean, not island cycle. We want to get the plains. Go land. Play the Familiar. If they have a Curse of Marauder, I'm toast, but I can't really do anything about that. Next turn, I get to play Familiar and hold up negate for supernatural stamina effect. Mesmeric Fiend from the opponents. They're probably going to respond to this Mesmeric Fiend trigger by sacrificing the Mesmeric Fiend with the Village Rites, and then they get to exile a creature forever, or a card forever. They don't have the sacrifice effect. Okay. So then if they take the negate, they definitely have the stamina. If they don't take the negate, I mean, they don't have it. Picks the Familiar. Okay. One other thing they can do is stamina their fiend and then sacrifice it, and then get things back. Yeah, I'm not going to do anything crazy here. I just don't want to get blown out. We're at 16. Now I get a 2/3. Let's ponder, try to find an island. Prohibit, snap. I guess this is fine. So I can snap the Mez Fiend. That doesn't get me anywhere. So let's leave the Prohibit on top. Actually, I should just shuffle, huh? I don't have any lands. That's a tough one. I'm going to shuffle. I think I want the lands. We drop the Prohibit anyway. So this turn, I think my best bet is to try to block the Mortician Beetle, because if that thing's off the table, I'm a lot less afraid. Use a Snuff Out. I will play my negate. And now they can play their Village Rites. They must just have drawn that. Mortician Beetle will get bigger. They get to surveil before they even draw, which is very nice for them. They get to put a swamp in the graveyard, draws 2 cards, up to 4 cards in hand. I couldn't find a land. They tragic slip, and then they tragic slip. Tragic for me. Find a flicker. I will draw 2 cards, leaving open the Prohibit. Dang it, we drew the Faithful. Dang. So I don't know how I can win. Infestation Sage from the opponent. They get to surveil. They're playing a fancy version. They put Supernatural Stamina into the graveyard. So much. We go to 4. I can't do anything. I can play a Familiar, a Faithful, and then die. So the only way that I don't die is if they cast a spell. Opponent is smarter than that. They get in for Xaxes. We're going to block the doggo, or not the dog, the beetle. Okay, we got dunked on. Unfortunate end, but the classic Familiars 4-1 still leaves you with a pretty good win rate, and I hope you enjoyed. We'll see you in the next video.